Hello, I'm Scott. I'm the breathing guy. I will train you to locate, generate, activate core key energy in physical activity. This video is golf at any age for the 4 clubs. Each club has its own function when you're just beginning. This whole approach is to get you out on the golf course and how to develop your game, your approach with each of the clubs. I go through each one. The 4 clubs are the driver, the 7-iron, and a pitching wedge, and now the putter. This is the 4th club. This whole video is about putters, and it's going to be a series. In other words, it's not going to be one video because putting is complicated. It is an art. It is personalized. There's so much aspect in developing your own putting swing mechanics, your own putting mechanics. Takes time and balance. If you've never played golf before, or how do you begin to learn how to putt? And the first thing you have to do, I think you should go out, since you're just starting, get a used putter. Go to a cheap place. And I'm going to explore putters today and what you look for. So that way you can cut your time down and start off. Because whatever putter you start with doesn't mean you're going to keep. It means essentially this is what I'm trying to develop my feeling. How do I relate to a putter? How do I feel the putter? How does the putter work? So I'm going to go through several putters and explain the differences so you can decide and see what you like, so you can visually focus on the putter to aim the head into the ball for your putt. So the first putter I'm going to show is this one. This is the one I use. It's called the bullseye. And look at the shaft. I want you to really look at the shaft. And if you look down here, it's literally hard to see. It has 2 lines and a dot. Now, all putters have like a visual aiming, so you can do what? Keep the face flat. So when you hit the ball, it's flat, not turned out like this, not turned in like this. Because anyway, it's like a pull shot. Putting, I mean, it's just, if the face is slightly off, that ball goes that way. If it's slightly in, it goes that way. So having the face, when you're striking the ball, square on in relationship to the target that you're aiming for, the target line. And it's a line. That's part of putting. It's not a straight shot. All the other clubs, you know, the 7, all the irons and stuff, there's classic swing mechanics to hit the ball, get it to do what you want. Putting is different. So when you go out, this is one type of putt. Notice the shaft. It's a straight shaft. Here, it's at an angle, and this is the surface. Look at the surface is smooth. Now, the next putter I'm going to show you is this one. I'll see the difference here. You have the shaft right here, but the shaft goes down, cuts back. Why? It's design. That's why when you go to the golf store, you're going to see so many putting designs, putter designs, literally shape the putter head this way, that way, shaft is doing this. And why? It's balance. Because what happens is that you have the weight of the putter, and the shaft goes down to here instead of going like the other one here, you feel the weight here. It's actually going back here, so you have a feeling of the weight being basically here. This is smooth move face, smooth, and look at the aimer. If you look at here, it has a single line. So when you get down there to putt, you're lining that line up with the center of the ball. Now, it's also heavy, weight. See this little skid mark? This one has a little skid mark, so you got to just scrape along the top of the ground. That way you don't hit the ground or resistance there. That's its solution to that when you're putting. But basically it is because of this here and here, so your balance is more here as a focal point, because balance is everything. When you pick up a putter, and these heads are heavy, here's a little clue. You want the putter head, use the weight of the putter head to hit the ball, finding the weight that fits your sensitivity, your feel, to make that ball. So when you're putting, you really want to feel the weight of the head, so you can judge the force of the weight going into the ball will determine the distance. So it's a matter of aiming. Two, with this one, if you take a look at the point, it's off center, and the center of the shaft goes way in the back. So you have variations of weight, surfaces, angles, and you have to find what works best for you. Now, here's another putter. Now look at this shaft, how it works. It goes down and dead straight down. So your weight feel when you're putting is, if you look at it, it's very heavy in the back end. If I put it this way, see the weight, how it tips? Now that's another feel. You have your aimer with that mark there, but this one has a different feel surface. Look at the surface. It's been basically roughed up so it tries to connect to the ball or hits the ball a little bit more friction, to create a little bit more friction when you strike the ball, so when it rolls, the spin, it has a little bit more to grip. But this is right here, and you can see the balance this way. Let me go back to here. If you look at the balance this way, it's a very different type of balance compared. Now the other putter I'm going to show you, the shaft, is this one. It's a very top name, and this one has 3 marks to try to aim the putter face straight. It has a special coating surface, a rough surface involved, and the balance is very heavy forward. So you can almost say when the shaft enters back here, the weight is back here. Again, finding your putter feel, and when you hold this down there like that, your weight. So in other words, what's happening is when you're trying to keep a shaft, there's a pendulum effect. The putter head is trying to push this way, and you're trying to hold it here. So when you're moving it, finding the feel that fits your temperament. This is just deciding. So that's why I say, go to thrift stores. Some really good golf stores have used equipment. Play with putter for a bit to make how to feel. Now, the grip of these putters. Generally, notice it has a flat. It's not circular like other clubs. So that way your hand, all these have a flat top. So how do you put your hands involved for the putter? And most of the time they want to put the left hand, the lead hand, thumb straight like this, or a little to the side, like this. See how it's off to the side or straight on it? Depends on your feel. And then the right hand, that's the key. What do you want to do with the right hand? And many forms are called the claw, the different ways of moving here, and you have to find what works for you on that. So picking the weight of the putter, the design of the shaft here that fits your visual, and the cluing, the eye cluing. This one here has a very elaborate. It has a center and then it has lines back here. And everything's supposed to flow here. Now, those are the putters that are available on there for styling and picking one and feel. So you literally have to go play with it, feel it. And it doesn't really matter in the beginnings because you're trying to refine what the balance in your hands for the putter, so you can make the action of making the face come straight into the ball square, so the ball goes. Then you have the sensitivity of, this is where the weight of the club head, the putter head really matters, is the impact force on the ball. The heavier the putter head is, and you start moving it, it hits that ball, the farther it's going to go. So finding the weight, because each one of these putters have a different weight, and finding your weight is a key factor. So you can feel, oh, when you're putting, oh, I feel the weight going into the ball, the weight. So you got the weight of the ball, of the putter head, one. You got the aiming, having it flat, and how do you aim that? That's another. Then you have angles that you like this one straight into it. Because that way the center or the shaft here when I putt is literally right next to the ball. Or a little, you can point right here. So the shaft and the ball are one action for me. That's my favorite. On that, I just like the physics, wherever that shaft goes, is where it's going to strike the ball. It's part of my aiming process on that. So that is the putters that you have in design. Looks do matter. If you don't like the way putter looks, believe me, you don't want to use it. So these are all the temperaments and the characteristics that are a part of deciding what putter fits you involved. Now the other area I got to go in it is the pendulum action, or the shaft movement action. And there's 3 types of shaft movement. When I say shaft movement, that's this, not putter head. Don't think of putter head. It is a misnomer because of the design of the club. It's how do you want to move your shaft? You got 3 choices. Moving it in a pendulum action, where it goes like this, a circular action like this, or a closed action, an arc like this. Those are the 3 basic, if you want to say, shaft movements. If you want to say classic, PGA putter pros have used over the years. So finding which, if you want to say, shaft movement you want. Like I said, you got 3. A pendulum action like this, a circular action like this, or a closed stance like this. One of the best putters had that one ever. He was recognized as the best. He can putt in that form. Again, finding your, if you want to say, physical sensation ability, your sensitivity to that putter's head to strike the ball in a repeatable, judgmental way. Putting is so judgmental. You got to read the greens. You got to learn so much of it. And when you do it right, in fact, it is beautiful. It is really customized. Putting you can do the rest of your life. And if you're a good putter, it is an art. It's focused. It's very physical. It's sensory. It's judgmental. Judging the greens, how it's going to fall. It's a puzzle. Putting is a puzzle in the sense of, okay, how to put all these pieces together before I take that putt and see the effect. Because even the greens, the speed of the greens, in other words, when anyone says speed of the greens, is you want to say the rolling resistance of the ball on the ground. If the grass is a certain way, you put a little force in it and it doesn't roll very far. Use that same force with a different type of green, it goes a lot longer. So that's a judgmental factor in putting that you have to, how can I say, realize in your own training, your own putting development. So these are the basic. I will go over the next video of the 3, if you want to say, shaft actions that you can develop and show you the disadvantage and how to do it. It's all based on footwork. How your footwork is, how you place your feet will determine those 3 ways of moving the shaft into the ball.